Good morning, Flagler County, and welcome to Veterans on Point, a WNZF radio show developed in mind for our county's beloved and respected veterans population and anyone else listening via internet or podcast. I am your host, David Lyden, the Flagler County Veterans Services Officer, and naturally, I am here with my friend and colleague at the office, Eric Flores.
Good morning, Dave, and good morning to all our listeners. I know to all our viewers out there, and hoping that everybody's doing well and enjoying this cool weather that we have lately. Enjoying what we have. There's a lot of things going on around, a lot of festival, a lot of things going on.
And Eric and I are your Flagler County Veterans Services Officers, and we're at 1769 East Moody Boulevard in Bunnell. That's in the Government Services Building. Phone number is 386-313-4014. We're there to help you, veterans, spouses, family members, with navigating the VA and helping with VA claims and much more. And if I didn't say so, if you're lucky enough to live in Flagler County, you're lucky enough.
There you are.
And our Star Spangled Banner, of course, will follow. It's our traditional one we've been sticking with. And that's the one that Billy Jones likes. So, and speaking of Billy Jones, he's the leader of the League of Loyal Listeners still.
Good morning, Mr. Billy.
And Billy's doing fine up there at San Cyr. San Cyr assisted living facility. It's very good to veterans.
It is.
That's where Navy Master Chief Dan and his wife are, too.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Ship B and the wife, Miss Kay.
And that's where Marine Corps veteran Jeff Kingdon goes a lot and talks with the veterans. So thank you, Jeff, for that. You know Jeff.
Thank you, sir.
He's on the show quite a bit, guest co-host. We saw Talking Tom yesterday. Stopped in the office.
Sure,
so hello, Talking Tom and Eileen. Charlie Hanger. I saw him yesterday at the DAV meeting. And Charlie left a message for me about the Queen of Hearts tally.
Where they at now? 10,000?
10,515, I think.
Oh,
it is.
man.
Yeah, it was. So, and he says, so the Queen is still alive.
Queen's still alive.
And the pot has grown bigger. So that's at the VFW, the Queen of Hearts raffle. It's every Tuesday night. So
that's their taco night.
That's VFW at 47 Old Kings Road North, post 8696.
That is also their taco day. So they start, 11, 12 until 7 o'clock at night?
Yep.
Pretty good deal, guy.
Lots of tacos. And who else we got? Dennis Bird, still with Guitars for Vets, I believe. I think they're operating not in the DAV building anymore, but in another location at Bunnell. I don't have the address on me. But we can get that if you're interested in learning to play. You're a veteran interested in learning how to play the guitar, and then when you graduate, you get a free guitar.
Okay, we're going to test Dennis. Dennis, if you listen to the show today, give us a call tomorrow and give us the new address.
Yeah. Dennis is an excellent guitar player. Let me see here. What else we got? We've got, of course, Bicycle Frank stopped in the other day. Hello, Bicycle Frank.
Good morning, sir. I saw him last week, too.
Did you?
Yeah, he was at the traffic light by Walgreens in Belterra and 100. Waiting for the green light.
And, of course, our friend James the Mailmaid checked in.
Good morning.
James the Mailmaid, you're welcome to catch us at Culver's for lunch sometime. We'll normally be there.
Absolutely.
He said in his voicemail and try to catch us there one lunchtime. So, we look forward to meeting you in person. And who else we got? Of course, Frank Sr. and Frankie Jr.
Good morning, guys. Good
Frankie
morning
Jr. and Frankie, I hope to see you at the Veterans Day ceremony, because Frankie Jr., there's still a lot of coins that you gave me to hand out that I haven't given them all out yet. So it'd be nice if we could see you at the Veterans Day ceremony, and
that would be great.
Hand out those thank you coins to veterans. No pressure. If you can't do it, that's okay. We'll get them out. We'll get them out one by one as we go along. So. All right. Massage by Natalie. We can't forget to mention Massage by Natalie, who is the promoter sponsor for the podcast on WNZF. So thank you, Massage by Natalie. They're at 4871 Palm Coast Parkway Northwest, Suite number 1. Phone number 386-227-7499. 386-227-7499. And that same veteran who told me they went to him before went again. He said very, very satisfied. So.
Yeah, we have a few of them that have been there, and nothing but compliments about that.
And I got to think he's one of the legal loyal listeners. So he if he hears something, that we talk about, he goes and gives it a try. So there's something else that I have. We'll talk about a little later that this veteran is involved in. I don't want to give his name out, but he'll know who he is when he hears it. What else we got going on? Okay, our president of the week. Now, just so you know, I do use artificial intelligence to help me a little bit with my work here that I present you on the radio.
Not that we don't know, we just use it to facilitate, to expedite.
Yes, and if you don't use tools at your disposal, then you're foolish as far as I'm concerned.
Seriously.
So, but just AI is not the all-knowing. It's not perfect, and I'll explain why. So, I asked AI just to give me some information about the 36th president of the United States, and it started talking about providing information about Richard Nixon. So I had to ask it, are you sure he's the 36th president? And AI started backpedaling and apologizing for making a mistake. And so I guess I say that to remind you that these are just tools. And when you use it, you still got to, just like when you get information from the press, from the media, you just don't take it and run with it.
Absolutely.
Do a little bit, you got to cross-check it and make sure that it's accurate, because even the all-knowing AI, artificial intelligence, is not perfect. And I think we're still quite a way away from AI taking over the world as people
No, it
worry
just
about.
help, especially in what we do, on a daily basis, and many others. I'm pretty sure it help.
Oh, we definitely use it in our office for research and to help veterans with their claims, because it's a force multiplier as far as your knowledge and swiftness and quickness and doing the homework we need to help link veteran's condition to things that he or she may have been exposed to, as far as toxins in the military, locations they were assigned to in the military, to see if those locations are Superfund sites or had toxic water. And so, yeah, we use AI to help you out.
Helps a lot.
All right, but anyway, that 36th president, Lyndon Baines Johnson of the United States, President of the United States, served from November 22, 1963 to January 20, 1969, ascending to the presidency after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Johnson was born on August 27, 1908 in Stonewall, Texas. His journey from a rural upbringing to the White House was marked by ambition, political acumen, and a transformative yet turbulent presidency. Known for his Great Society programs and the escalation of the Vietnam War, LBJ's legacy is a blend of progressive triumphs and divisive decisions peppered with fascinating lesser-known quirks. Raised in the Texas Hill Country, Johnson's early life was modest. His father, a farmer and a state legislator, instilled a sense of public service, while financial struggles shaped his grit. Before politics, LBJ taught at a segregated Mexican-American school in Coachula, Texas, an experience that fueled his later commitment to civil rights. Elected to the House of Representatives in 1937 and the Senate in 1948, he became a master of legislative maneuvering, earning the nickname Master of the Senate for his ability to broker deals. As President, Johnson's domestic achievements were monumental. His Great Society initiative launched sweeping reforms, including Medicare, Medicaid, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed racial segregation. The Voting Rights Act of 1965, another landmark, dismantled barriers to African American voting, reshaping American democracy. These efforts reflected LBJ's belief in government as a force for social good rooted in his own encounters with poverty. However, his escalation of the Vietnam War overshadowed these gains, fueling protest and division. By 1968, public discontent led him to forego a second full term. Little-known facts revealed Johnson's colorful personality. He was notorious for his Johnson treatment, a persuasive tactic involving intense physical proximity, leaning close, towering over opponents to secure votes. LBJ also had a mischievous side. He loved driving his amphibious car, an Amphicar, into a lake on his Texas ranch, pretending it was an accident to startle guests. His obsession with controlling information extended to installing a ticker tape machine in the White House to monitor news in real time. Johnson was also an animal lover, famously doting on his beagles, him and her, though he sparked controversy by lifting them by their ears for photos. Post-presidency, LBJ retired to his ranch, where he grew his hair long, embracing a counterculture look that surprised many. He died in 1973, leaving a legacy as a champion of social justice and a leader haunted by Vietnam. Johnson's presidency embodies the complexity of power, bold, flawed, and undeniably impactful. Now, I don't remember ever seeing a picture of him with long hair, so I had to Google that, and he had... I didn't
know that one.
It wasn't real long, but it was longer in the back. It definitely was different. Quote of the week from LBJ, and this is on poverty and opportunity. Poverty must not be a bar to learning, and learning must offer an escape from poverty. And that's from a May 22nd, 1964 speech at the University of Michigan. And that brings us to the point in the program where I say, drivers, the DAV is seeking drivers to take veterans from their homes to their VA appointments. Give the DAV Chapter 86 a call at 386-439-2122. 386-439-2122. Find out how to be a volunteer driver or to find out how to take advantage of the transportation. At the DAV meeting yesterday, I think there was going on, so far this month, 30 different veterans who took advantage of the rides. There was a bunch of cancellations, which we suspect were due to the shutdown and maybe some providers not being available. But anyway, the DAV is doing what they can to provide your transportation. There is a little bit of bureaucratic slow up with the volunteers, because now volunteers have to have a background check as a uncompensated VA employee. So they have to be vetted just like a federal employee, and so that's slowing things down a little bit. So, but don't let that deter you from being a volunteer. You don't have to use your own vehicle, but you do need to have a background check. You do need to be insurable, and you do need to have a physical. But it is rewarding. I know there's folks that are not veterans that have been volunteering for many years, and of course our veterans appreciate that. So, all right. So that brings us to, I want to talk about the Veterans Day parade and the Veterans Day ceremony that's coming up on November 11th.
Tuesday.
That is a Tuesday. And somebody said to me, geez, how come it's on a Tuesday? I said, well, that's how the calendar,
because it's not on Monday.
That's how the calendar rolls. And so, yeah, it is on Tuesday. The parade that starts gathering, forming about 8 o'clock in Bunnell at the old Coquina building, which is the old City Hall. It's in the vicinity of Route 100, which is Moody Boulevard and US 1. If you get in that area, you're not going to miss everybody getting ready. So, and then it kicks off at 10 o'clock. So if you're part of the parade, no later than 9:30, be in place.
Be there, be square, my friend.
They'll shut down the road then, and then you won't be able to get in there. So if you want to be in the parade, you need to register at flaglerbroadcasting.com. I have had some people start calling me late to find out about it, but flaglerbveteransdayparade.com to make sure that you get registered, because they're going to set up what stage you are in the parade. So try to show up without registering, you're going to be turned away, I'm afraid. You do need to have at least one veteran in your whether it's a car, a float, or however you're going to be in the parade. At least one veteran needs to be part of it. The Grand Marshal and guest speaker. So guest speaker is going to be at the Veterans Day ceremony following the parade. The parade goes from US 1 and 100, and it goes east towards the Government Services Building. That's a 3/4 of a mile route. It files into there, and then we have our ceremony following. So tentatively, the ceremony will kick off around 11 or so. The Grand Marshal is Lieutenant Colonel Dave Freeman, United States Army. And we will have the announcement of the 2025 Veteran of the Year. Food will be served afterwards.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's good food, guys.
By Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, man, don't miss it.
We've secured Texas Roadhouse to give us a nice deal on a picnic lunch.
All right.
And the Star Spangled Banner is going to be sung by 9-year-old Laurel Duffy, who is the daughter of Marcus Duffy, the Palm Coast attorney.
And an Air Force vet.
And an Air Force vet. Yeah, Air Force. He's now in the National Guard, Air National Guard, as an attorney. Vince Cautero will sing "God Bless the USA," as he has for the last many Veterans and Memorial Days.
Many years.
We thank Vince for that. Yeah, he came in the office one day and he had I think he brought a CD, or we got talking about it, and he said he had a CD, and I said I'd like to see that. And then I saw on the CD that one of his songs was "God Bless the USA," and that's when I said, "Hey, how would you like to be, part of the entertainment for the ceremonies?" And we've been friends since. So thanks, Vince. Also, there's going to be the Community Chorus of Palm Coast. They'll have 50 singers there singing a medley of patriotic songs. And this is one we didn't talk about, but we need to, is that the Flagler County Historical Society will be sponsoring a couple of professional photographers. They'll be inside the Board of County Commissioners' chambers or the conference room with a studio set up taking photos. So if you're wearing a uniform on Veterans Day, or even if you're not, maybe you're just wearing your veteran's hat, or you're one of the bikers and you got your motorcycle vest on, and you want your portrait taken, they'll take professional portraits. And if you want your family to be in the picture, bring your family in there. So they're going to offer that from 10 o'clock to noon for free digital portraits. So, yeah, we'd like, they're very interested in doing this, so we'd like to see them have lots of folks that participate get their pictures taken that day. Like I say, they're professional portraits, so come on in, get it done. Come out to Veterans Day parade and then the ceremony, and photo taken, too, in a patriotic fashion. So
it's going to be a great date again, sir.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's great that the community's coming together.
Absolutely.
I know there's stuff going on in other parts of there's golf tournaments and stuff and other things going on.
No, but ours is more important.
We're going to have a big,
ours is more important.
A big day right there in Bunnell. Yes. So I hope you're part of it.
Yes, please.
What else is on my list here? So last week we talked about that letter that the VA is sending out, that legacy letter, and it has prompted a lot of questions. Already this week I've had people stop in or call asking about the letter. I have a few
appointments, about that letter and about the package, because they went and downloaded the package. And,
Well, see, if you're paying attention to your correspondence from the VA, and some people are and some people are not. But, yeah, but if you have questions about it, wondering why you got it, one of the questions I got today just before we came over here to the studio is veteran said he got the package and he just wanted to make sure that that the VA knew he was had been exposed to Agent Orange, and for some reason, I guess the packet gets into that. I don't remember that part, but
yeah, it gets to that when it gets to DIC and stuff like that. So,
and I reminded him he's been service connected for a heart condition due to his service in Vietnam. So the VA is already well conceded that he's been exposed to Agent Orange. So he thanked me for responding so quickly, and so that was one answer. We had a nice spouse come in yesterday, asking about what the letter meant. She thought it had something to do with the survivor's benefits from her husband's retirement from the Air Force. It's got nothing, very little to do with that, except for to be aware that it is something that you should know about, to know whether your husband or your spouse signs you up for the survivor's benefits. So,
well, yeah, I believe I have like a checklist somewhere in one of the pages.
So in one way, it does bring up that. And the other thing is, it reminded her that she needs to go back. They already did a prepaid burial package with a funeral home, but it's been years since they even looked at it. And when I was asking her questions about it, she realized, she really didn't remember that much about it. So at least this VA correspondence reminded people, let's go back and rehash and relook at things and remind ourselves what we bought and what that package entails. Does that package, one of her questions, does it entail transportation costs up to Arlington National Cemetery? And you got to look in your package, your contract with the nursing home, or not the nursing home, the funeral home, to find out if it covers that. Now, this particular veteran is 100% permanent in total, so there will be some burial benefits available to his spouse, and it can pay for some transportation up to Arlington. So, but you got to dig in. If you got questions, you got to dig into your own records.
Absolutely,
and that's what that VA correspondence was good about, reminding folks.
Yes, you might have done a will or trust years back, but that letter going to remind you if there's any changes you need to make.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, you might want to kick one of your kids off the will.
Right. Yeah. So.
One of those kids that that hasn't talked to you in years.
One of those little rascals.
And we get we hear all kinds of stories. You got the children of elderly folks, and there's usually one of them steps up and is taking good care of the family. Then the other ones, nobody hears from. And that's families. Everybody's got families like that. And, so anyway, got off a little off topic. One of the things that came up at the DAV meeting, and I wanted to mention this, and it's a program called My Safe Florida Home. And the website is mysafeflhome.com. And it's a grant program to help people get their homes better in shape for wind mitigation and storm damage. And at first, when I hear this stuff, I'm cynical. The first thing I think of, okay, what is this all about? What are they trying? But the veteran I mentioned, he was also at the DAV meeting. He said a couple of years ago he did apply for it, and he had all new windows put in the back of his house, and they paid for 2/3 of it. So they will pay for 2/3 of the cost of your project, up to $10,000. So his windows cost $15,000. The state of Florida, this program paid for $10,000 out of those new windows. So it's real.
It is real.
So it is to provide eligible Florida homeowners with a free, no obligation hurricane mitigation inspection, which will assess the current hurricane resistance features of their homes and recommend improvements to further strengthen their home against hurricanes. And it's to offer eligible Florida homeowners a hurricane mitigation grant to help cover the cost of recommended home improvements identified during the program's initial inspection, enhancing the home's hurricane resistance and potentially qualifying the homeowner for discounts on home insurance premiums. So it's a real program.
It is. I have a Air Force vet friend of mine that they put the entire. They did the entire roof. The entire roof.
Oh, okay. So there you go, folks. You listen in here, and we'll share. We come across something that seems helpful to you, we're going to share it here. And so again, that's My Safe Florida Home Program. And it's the website is mysafeflhome.com. My Safe Florida Home. All right, so we got the signal. We're under the 2 minutes, and so that's the part of the program where I got to remind you that no country and no state and no community does more for veterans than the United States of America, the great and free state of Florida, the wonderful Flagler County, the lovely city of Palm Coast, and all of our beautiful beach cities. Be a victor, not a victim. Be educated, not indoctrinated. And most importantly, be kind to someone today or many someones. We hope you enjoyed the program. You got some information that's helpful to you. We try to do that. Anything? Any final thoughts?
No,
there?
if you listen to our show and you have, like Dave said, some good information to pass along, just give us a call.
Yeah,
give us a call.
We'd be happy if there's a program like this,
right?
Similar to something like this, My Safe Florida Home. You think that it's worked for you, and you think, geez, maybe more people should know about it. Then let us know. We'll check it over and let our listeners know. So
we knows a lot, but we don't know everything. So let us know.
Even AI doesn't know everything. Yeah. So we thank you for listening, and please be back with us next week. And put that Veterans Day parade and ceremony on your calendar.
Please do so.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.